Good morning, everybody. I'm Larry Steinhouse, and welcome to Money Chat Now. Money Chat Now is a politically charged stock market pre-show giving you the politics behind the biggest moves in the stock market. It is presented with comedic common sense by an expert in financial literacy. Hey, that's me, Larry Steinhouse. All right, so today is December 22nd. And hey, I want to welcome you to the show, and if you're here live on WWDB Radio in Philadelphia, I want to make sure that you are listening, and also on Facebook, on LinkedIn, and Twitter. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and like the Money Chat Now page on Facebook. Of course, you can attend a complimentary class this Thursday by going to investorschooling.com, and there you will learn about real estate investing and stock options trading from those who do it every day. All right, on today's show, of course, we're going to be talking about the futures update. But you know what we have to do right now? We actually have to go to a commercial real quick because I have to tell you something really funny. We're having a little bit of technical difficulty this morning, and I have to fix something real quick. So we're going to go to a commercial real quick, and we will be right back.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start. Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
Investor Schooling needs a new slogan.
Investor Schooling? Never heard of.
Investor Schooling?
Never heard of.
Investor Schooling? Never heard of them.
Any suggestions? Phil?
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either.
Investor Schooling. We never heard of you either. Register for a free class at investorschooling.com.
Investor Schooling. Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling? Those guys are everywhere.
Investor Schooling?
Those guys are everywhere.
Yeah, go to logo.
Investor
Gotta love it when you're doing a live show and things go wrong and you can fix them that quickly. Isn't that awesome? All right, so on today's show, we're going to be discussing the futures update. We're going to be talking about, of course, Omicron dominating. We're going to be talking about Biden threatening the unvaccinated. Americans are tired. They're tired of COVID, that is. We're going to be talking about mansion money, student loan pause, and self-storage units. All good stuff. All right, so yesterday was definitely a beautiful day as the Dow was up over 500 points at one time. Look, my travel stocks actually are coming back, and those plays are wonderful. The market is brushing off the continued attempts from the Gestapo organization known as the WHO and their leaders, Air Biden. Oh, and of course, Air Fauci as well. So today, the Dow is actually, right now, the futures are up 54, the S&P is up 3, and the NASDAQ is down about 4 1/4, and that's pretty cool. So it might be a good morning. We'll have to check it out. Hey, I want to say hello to a couple of guys online. Thanks, Mick. Thanks, Rob. Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Eric. And let's get going. All right. Omicron. Ooh, oh my goodness. The scary Omicron virus is now the dominant strain of what used to be called a cold. That's right, 75% of all COVID tests identified Omicron as the strain diagnosed. According to the CDC, check this out, according to the CDC, 25% of the cases are Delta. Now wait a minute, I'm confused here. If 75% of the cases identified are Omicron and 25 are Delta, does that mean that before Omicron, 100% of all the cases were Delta? Was there only Delta before? So if this is correct, Omicron will obviously be at 100% shortly. If you add this to the fact that there is only one reported death and everyone is saying this is like a bad cold, does that mean that the scamdemic is finally over? Actually, I think it was over 2 weeks ago after we flattened the curve, but whatever. I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything here. So this is from the article. I use this source from the report. Ready? About 69,000 Americans are hospitalized with COVID-19 according to the 7-day average of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services data as of Thursday. A 2-week increase of 14%. Though rising, that is still lower than when the Delta wave's high point was more than 100,000 when they were hospitalized in early September. And that's the end of the article. So wait a minute, where are the deaths? Is anyone actually dying from this virus anymore? Or is it just the continued scare cat tactics? Well, I guess it's clearly the continued scare tactics. That's obviously what's going on. Unbelievable what's going on in this world, and we're letting it happen. Let's talk about Biden threatening the unvaccinated. Hey, the Supreme Leader, President Poopy Pants, spoke to his peasants yesterday as he dictated that only the vaccinated are allowed to enjoy their holidays this year. He went on to say, but many of the vaccinated will get, and I quote, breakthrough infections. But of course, if you're vaccinated, you probably won't die. Cut me a break, you lying piece of what you did in your pants when you visited a poop, when you visited the Pope, not the poop. That's pretty funny. I hope Sam Spicer from WWDB was okay with how I crafted that replacement for the 4-letter word that I'm not allowed to say. Anyway, the Supreme Leader raised his voice and said, all these people, yes, he said, all these people, he actually said it twice, who have not been vaccinated, have an obligation to yourselves, your family, and quite frankly, I know I'm going to get criticized for this, your country. Get vaccinated, it's free, he said. Hey, Gestapo Joe, here's the criticism about what you said. You wouldn't know what an American is. You've been preaching communism and socialism for so long that you forgot we Americans fought several wars to protect ourselves from people like you. The Supreme Leader went out to talk about testing kits because he claims there aren't enough. Of course there aren't enough. You and Dr. Frotsky announced last week that if you sneeze or cough, you should get a COVID test. Nothing like making sure COVID testing company that you and your evil minions invested in makes lots of profits. Also in his speech, or should I say lecture, he warned us that he is deploying the military to support hospitals. Wow. And then, of course, he guilted all the purebloods. By the way, that's what the Invax call themselves nowadays. They call themselves the purebloods. That's interesting. Anyway, he guilted all the purebloods by telling them that they may be taking a hospital bed away from someone with a heart attack, cancer, or other serious illness that may need it. Or, of course, if you live in New York City or Philadelphia, you may be taking away a hospital bed from someone who was shot because of the lawlessness in those cities. Anyway, he finishes his speech, and lecture with this. He says, the unvaccinated are responsible for their own choices, he said, but those choices have been fueled by dangerous misinformation on cable TV and social media. It's wrong, it's immoral, and I call on the purveyors of those lies and misinformation to stop it. Stop it now, he said. Well, here's what I have to say about that statement, Herr Biden. If you would stop censoring the data, stop controlling the media, and stop ordering us around, maybe, just maybe, people can read or view the information that will help them make an informed decision. So here's my message to you, Herr Biden. I call on you and your satanic worshipping minion to stop spreading lies and misinformation. Stop censoring the truth. Stop it now, says me, Larry Steinhouse. Hey, can I drop a mic if it's a lapel? Well, I guess it's kind of not really the same thing, so let's go to the next topic. Americans are tired of it. That's right, they're tired of COVID. They're tired of the restrictions. They're tired of the contradictory information by the so-called leaders. A professor, check this out, a professor at the University of Michigan's Ross School of Business actually said a lack of leadership, both federally and locally, has led to small factions operating in their own self-interest rather than following a unified policy. Well, duh. That happened because the public has seen COVID response as both hyper-political and unreliable. He also said this, there's no authoritative anchor to where we are or what we should do. He continued, "Does anyone believe what the CDC says anymore? 10 years ago, people trusted the CDC. If you don't trust the people who are supposed to be smart, then you're left to your own devices." By the way, I had to read this article twice before I actually believed that this was a college professor, and it really was. It was a college professor. I guess I judged all college professors as the same liberals with no actual free thought, but I'm going to tell you, this guy gets it. People are simply beginning to ignore the fake dangers that they're being told exist. Airlines are booking more flights, and Spider-Man movie was proof that the populace is done with lockdowns, masks, and of course the other stuff that you find in Joe Biden's pants when he visits the Pope. If this college professor gets it, then maybe, just maybe, we will start to see less people driving in their car wearing masks, or maybe we will actually be allowed to be in a plane without the useless masks soon. It's unbelievable. Hey, I want to say hello to some people watching online. Hello, Brandon. Hello, Christina. And we're going to take a break right now, and we will be back in a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back. I'm Larry Steinhouse, and this is Money Chat Now. And hey, are you guys enjoying the show? If you are, please leave a comment on Facebook or LinkedIn or Twitter, and let me know you're enjoying the show. Of course, you can let me know with your favorite phrase, my favorite phrase, "Let's go Biden." And if you want more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829. And I want to thank you all for listening on WWDB Radio. And hey, hit that share button if you're online, and hit that like button on your online as well. And I look forward to telling you more. All right, so far, as you know, we've been discussing some interesting things. We've been discussing the fact that first of all, let's talk about the futures. The futures are up 46 points. The S&P is up 2.5 points, and the NASDAQ is actually down 5 points. All right, so that's not so bad. It is what it is. And of course, we've been talking about the fact that COVID, because that's all the news wants to talk about right now. And maybe eventually we'll have something else to talk about besides COVID. But let's talk about this right now. So Joe Manchin, you guys remember that I reported last week, and you probably heard several times, that Joe Manchin, a Democrat, has put his foot down about brain-dead Biden's Build Back Better plan. Manchin has stated that he can't vote on it because he believes that it does not represent the values and the wishes of the citizens of his state in West Virginia. Of course, now the Democrats really want to find out a reason why he would turn against them and actually think for himself. Right, okay. So I've often said that the news articles are written just for manipulation, and you have to check this out. Check out this parts of this article that I found on CNBC about Manchin. The article says that Senator Joe Manchin's Political Action Committee, a PAC, right, saw a surge in corporate contributions this fall ahead of his decision to oppose and apparently kill President Joe Biden's $1.7 trillion social safety net and climate change bill. Oh, stop it. Anyway, the article goes on to say Manchin's leadership PAC, called Country Roads, received 17 contributions from corporations in October and 19 in November. So, and this was according to a CNBC analysis of Federal Election Commission filings. None of the 4 months prior to October saw as many corporate contributions. All right, what are they implying here? Well, it's simple. They're implying that Manchin was bought. But hold on a minute. Let me read this part again. The PAC received 17 contributions from corporations in October and 19 last month, according to a CNBC analysis of Federal Election Commission filings. A CNBC analysis? Who actually did the analysis? Was it a human? Is it a politician? Is it a liberal liar? I don't know. Anyway, check this out. The article basically states that Manchin was bought, but wait until you hear who they're accusing of buying Manchin. So, see, these are some of the donors. So the donors included financial giants such as American Express and Goldman Sachs, also aerospace and defense leader Lockheed Martin, health insurance companies, United Health Group and Blue Cross Blue Shield, and then they included another, right at the end, and a natural gas company, CNX Resources. Now, if anyone was going to buy them off, it might be CNX, but all the other ones, it's crazy. So check this out. They also had other corporate donors such as Verizon, Union Pacific, Wells Fargo, and of course they have to mention PACs tied to the coal and mining industries, right? Because this is what Poopy Pants wants to shut down. He wants to shut down the coal and mining industries. So basically, most of these companies, most of the other companies, however, didn't sound like liberal. Didn't sound like I don't know, like conservative companies to me. They actually sound like liberal companies. This is a shell game to make it look like he was bought. In fact, some of those companies like AT&T, Goldman Sachs, and the health insurance companies would probably benefit from the Build Boring Biden back bill. This is just an example of how easily the American people continue to get manipulated. In fact, if Manchin changes his mind without a substantial change in the bill, then I would assume that he was absolutely bought or threatened. Hey, I want to say hello to Lewis watching online, and of course I forgot to say hello to Bill, my number one. He comes on first every morning. He opens up, he says that he has Larry and a cup of coffee to get his day started. All right, let's talk a little bit about student loans and the student loan pause. All right, we all know about the greatest scam portrayed in the American people, and that, of course, is COVID. However, before COVID, the greatest scam that was portrayed in the American people was the student loan scam. You know, when you allow a 17 or 18-year-old child who knows nothing about money, and they know nothing about loans or interest, and doesn't even have a clue what paying $500 to $1,000 a month for the next 20 years will do to their credit score or their home buying power. So now this second greatest scam in America, of course, has caused millions to be in debt for what most are experiencing a useless degree. Well, when COVID replaced student loans as the biggest scam, the government under Trump at first paused the student loan payments in case people had trouble paying because of their company might have been closed due to government overreach. Look, then of course we had a presidential candidate, who thought he needed to bribe the American people with student loan forgiveness. And he got a bunch of people to rally behind him on it and then did nothing about it. Anyway, the student loan forbearance or a moratorium, whatever you want to call it, is now coming to an end, and many are concerned that they will not be able to live within their budgets any longer. By the way, I got to tell you, this is also a problem with the mortgage moratorium as well. But however, let's talk a little bit about student loans, and the discussion has been to pause student loans further. The current payment pause is actually set to end at the end of January. You know why, right? So that way you can buy all your Christmas presents and then be in total debt in January. So we don't want to affect the economy, at least for Christmas. Anyway, for those who are fans of mine, I am really, really anti-student loans. I think student loans are horrible. And now, don't misunderstand me. College may or may not be for some, but student loans are for none. The student loan system, if the student loan system was revamped so that only the qualified people could get a student loan, at least 75% of the student loans would be declined, and that would actually make colleges lower their prices because of supply and demand. I mean, if you make it easy to get the money, then they can raise the price of anything they want. The college system and lies we're told about attending college to get a job are designed to feed the college's money. Well, if Brain Dead pauses the loan payments, it's still not going to solve the problem. We seriously need, and I mean it, as a conservative, I'm telling you right now, we need to forgive most of the student loans and no longer make them so easy to get. Recent polling of student loan borrowers found that 90% are still not financially secure enough to resume their payments. And in case you didn't know, This is a $1.7 trillion outstanding loan problem. All right, real quick, I'm going to talk about self-storage units, and then we're going to go to commercial after that, and then we're going to talk about, hey, what's going on today. All right, so this is a really cool thing for you guys real estate investors who like to watch my show. One of the most often forgotten great real estate investments is self-storage units. You know, those places where you put your stuff when you don't have enough room for your stuff in your current living situation. I don't know if you remember the great late George Carlin said in a comedy routine, the meaning of life is finding a place for your stuff. And I'm going to tell you that many can associate with this thought. Anyway, those self-storage units companies are storing your stuff have made a killing this year. The company Extra Space Storage with the symbol EXR has doubled year after year, year over year, and the other big player, Public Storage, is up 75% year over year. Many REITs who invested in self-storage units are also flying high. Look, I got to tell you, I always like this business. I think it's a great business. It's a simple real estate business with a lot of doors and not much maintenance or overhead. It also plays into the fact that in the next recession, when the next recession starts to show its ugly head, it's a good time to get income produced when people need to downsize. Hey, anybody out there know a self-storage facility for sale? Let me know if you know one. We're going to go to commercial, and we will talk to you in just a minute.
Okay, so you've thought about investing in real estate, houses, apartment buildings, properties, but don't really know where to start? Well, what if you could very easily learn how to gain strategies to use other people's money to buy and sell houses in the Philadelphia area? If you could learn and network with successful area real estate investors and how to produce monthly income on rental properties without headaches, that place is Investor Schooling. With Investor Schooling, you'll learn from two Philadelphia area rockstar real estate investors, Phil Falcone and Larry Steinhouse, about how to buy and sell properties the easy way and teach you basic and advanced techniques to help you make money in real estate. You can attend Investor Schooling in person or online visual classes 8 times a month. You can and will learn how to make money in real estate. Call for free information and get a complimentary pass to one of these classes. But don't delay, as these complimentary passes are limited. Call the number on your screen now or visit investorschooling.com. investorschooling.com.
All right, welcome back to Money Chat Now. I am your host, Larry Steinhouse, and if you would like more information on Investor Schooling, you can go to investorschooling.com or call 866-424-2829, and yes, there is class tomorrow, so you definitely want to be there. Hey, let's talk a little bit about the futures update right now. Right now, the Dow is up 36 points, the S&P up a half a point, and the NASDAQ is down almost 9 points. I don't know. Let's see what's going to happen. Let's talk a little bit about today's picks and plays, but before that, did you guys online hit that share button? Did you hit that like button? Hey, let everyone know what great stock plays are coming up by sharing this information. And of course, you could share it in your page or in groups that you feel will benefit from some great stock plays. So go do that. And of course, you can leave comments on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube or LinkedIn. And hey, let me know what's going on. All right, if you're listening on WWDB Radio, set one of your presets to this channel and listen every day at 7:30 for all you need to know about politics behind the stock market. All right, let's talk about what's going on today and what happened yesterday. So today, I'm going to say today will probably be a slow day after yesterday's dead cat bounce. So for you guys who know that phrase, it's a funny phrase. It's a dead cat bounce, and sure enough, the market bounced up. The market is still trying to figure out the Omicron situation. Hey, by the way, hey, market, it's a freaking cold. Stop it. All right. So some of the top movers yesterday included two big tech stocks, Citrix and Micron. Citrix moved up 13.5%, and Micron moved up about 10.5%. The rest of the movers were in the travel industry, and I've been telling you for weeks, buy travel stocks, buy travel stocks. Expedia was up 9%, CCL was up almost 9%, and AAL was up almost 5%. Ooh, it made my account look good again. These stocks are going to rock into the new year as long as President Poopy Pants continues to be ignored. And he really is. He's being ignored now. So Apple, as you know, moved up a little bit, and Meta also moved up, but Meta actually opened down, and it was down like a point when it first opened, and then as the market moved up, it closed almost 9 points. And this was a play that I suggested last week. You know, you also should know, of course, Moderna is moving down. And soon it will be at the we need more COVID fears level, of below 250, so watch out, because Moderna, I think, let me just check real quick, I think Moderna is actually, it's actually at 268. Watch it, because when it goes below 250, all of a sudden, out comes the COVID fears news. Anyway, all right, the EV and alternate fuel vehicle stocks are also moving up, or at least soon will be. I'll tell you right now, I actually like Nikola at this price. Nikola is below 10. I think the last time I looked at it, Nikola is right now sitting at $9.40. I like it. I like Rivian also. I told you before yesterday. I told you a couple of weeks ago. I told you that I thought Rivian would be a great play when it reaches below 90. And Rivian right now, actually, I know it went below 90, but let me just check real quick and see where Rivian is at the moment. So Rivian is sitting there at, it's back up to 97. So there you go. So now I was right, but you had to get in quick at 90. So there it was. It may even pull back a little bit again, but if it does, I like it. By the way, I actually bought some Nikola yesterday. So on the crypto scene, most of crypto is still in a holding pattern. You know, Bitcoin is still around 49,000, and Ethereum is right around 4,000. And of course, Shiba moved up a bit off its current low, and right now it's at about 35 millionth of a cent. I don't know, if anybody's in the Shiba army, let me know. I just find that absolutely hysterical. I go into the Shiba groups on Facebook, and it's the funniest thing. You know, I invested my entire paycheck of $500 last week. How come it's not moving up? How come I'm not a millionaire yet? Well, it doesn't work that way, guys. It really doesn't. And in fact, for me to invest in Shiba, it was just for fun. I happen to make about $25,000 off it, but it was just for fun. So you have to understand this is what this is, right? All right, gold and silver also has stalled, with gold right around 1,800 and silver right around 23. Hey, Mick's letting me know that he's in Shiba too. Let's go, Shiba Army. Go ahead, let's go. All right. So, of course, the Treasury bond is also stalling right around, it's actually sitting below 1.5%, and that will keep the NASDAQ from swinging wildly. Don't forget, when the Treasury bond goes above 1.5%, the NASDAQ usually has a bad reaction. Hey, look, the Santa Claus rally is still a possibility. Let's cheer for Santa this week and hope it comes. And once again, as you guys know, from time to time, I own some of these stocks and assets on this show. I want to thank all the listeners on WWDB Radio. We look forward to your continued support. And if you're online watching on Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, make sure you leave comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. Have a profitable day.